If you start at the right moment, the question of when do I sell becomes a lot easier.
Basically, you have these two strategies, you will make insane amounts of money.
They exit after 2x. The coin will do like 5x, 6x, 8x, and you miss out on all of these gains, which are basically opportunity costs. A lot of that time will be wasted. If you want to make money in crypto, the potential upside is capped.
Just look at the difference between the 8x and the 200x. It's huge. Which is kind of universal. Like, as soon as that hit in the last cycles, you had maximally like 1 week to get out of the markets, or maybe a month after. I mean, one of our best top signals, which is
this is very important, like understand who you are and like how your life is structured, and build your portfolio around this, build your exit strategy, your complete investment strategy around this. Otherwise, you will miss out on so many gains and you will probably lose a lot of money. Understand this, you have to have a strategy that you can follow based on your life and based on your emotional.
This is 80%, I would say, of all the...
So, the topic today will be exit strategies. I know a lot of people struggle with that. Often we hear people say, I sell too early or I sell too late. So we will address these two problems today, and I hope that you find value in this. So let's get starting. So Jack,
let's get going.
Let's address like the first thing people often struggle with, which is like selling too early. Like they are getting scared that prices might go down, and so they decide like, okay, I will sell now. What do you think is like the biggest constraint these people have, and why are they doing this?
It's a very good question. I think at the beginning, if you start your crypto journey, one of the first things that many people do, or basically don't do, is that they don't understand market cycles. And if you do not understand market cycles, and that at a profound level, and by the way, I'm a big supporter of mastering the basics before you go on, and this will get you much further in life in general, and especially in crypto if you master the basics. But basically, if you understand market cycles at a deep level, then this is 80%, I would say, of all the exit strategy mistakes that you can make. Of course, we will go a bit more in depth, but I would start this conversation about market cycles, and I would say that most beginners do not have the idea where they are in the market cycle, how long it will go, and how to know exactly, okay, we have approximately that time left. You know, there's certain cues and certain signals which indicate you where you are in the market. And if you do not understand this base layer, I think this is a great point to start, because this is the most important thing. This is like the building block of the pyramid. If you don't understand that, you cannot understand the rest.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Like a lot of people, like when they start with crypto, they might hear about market cycles, but the next important step is mostly missing. Like they learn about market cycles, they know what an uptrend is, they know what like a down phase is and so on, but they know it, but they don't take it into action. Like I mean, probably a lot of you listening right now, like you bought during a bull market, even if you knew that this isn't the perfect time to buy, and now you wonder when you should sell. So if you start at the right moment, the question of when do I sell becomes a lot easier. And like, I think often people, they think too much about selling, but not about like when is the right time to buy either. So I think market cycles, if you already know what they are, then the next important step is to act based on them. Because you can be like you can have the best strategy on earth. If you don't act on it correctly, it's worth nothing.
Exactly. And this is why I think having a set of rules before the bull market even starts is super important. You need to have a plan. And this is what we teach as well. We have entire courses on how to enter and how to exit coins. And I think one of the most important thing is to already have some points set. And a little spoiler for you guys, there are two arts how to exit a positions. Yeah. So let's go a bit into that. It's really easy to understand, and everyone at any level can understand that. And basically you have what it might sound difficult, but it's not. You have arbitrary and non-arbitrary exit strategies. So arbitrary price targets are something like, I'm going to buy here and I'm going to sell it at 2x, at 3x, 5x, 10x, 100x. This is an arbitrary price target. You buy a position, you buy a coin, and then you exit at a certain price or after a certain amount of percent gain. Like I just said, 2x, 3x, 10x, whatever. And then you've got non-arbitrary price targets, which are more advanced, but it's easy to teach once you know what to look out for, which signals are super important for non-arbitrary price targets. One could be, I will give you guys alpha. Last cycle, it was Coinbase hitting the #1 spot in the US App Store. This was always one of the biggest top signals where you could enter, where you could exit a position. And this is non-arbitrary, which means it's not something you can quantify directly. You cannot exit at a set point, you know, based on price. It's something esoteric. It's something outside of prices. And you have these two strategies. And if you know exactly which one to apply at what point, and with which currencies, you will make insane amounts of money.
Totally agree with that. Like I think just for the beginners, like non-arbitrary price target, if you look at the potential gains that you can make with both strategies, non-arbitrary price targets will help you a lot with not selling too early. Because like, let's face it, I know even if you have like already an exit strategy, and you have like arbitrary price targets, you will miss out on a lot of potential gains. Like I know so many people who come into crypto with their conservative mindset, and which they maybe know out of like traditional finance or retail investment and stuff like this. So they exit after 2x, but in the end, like the coin will do like 5x, 6x, 8x, and you miss out on all of these gains, which are basically opportunity costs. So you go into crypto, you invest all the time into researching a cryptocurrency, but if you miss out on this important step of your whole investment strategy, basically, a lot of that time will be wasted and could have been better invested in something else. So if you want to make money in crypto, understand non-arbitrary price targets. Otherwise, the potential like upside is capped.
Yeah.
And arbitrary price targets are great for beginners. And if you don't have a clue on what to do at all, I would go with arbitrary price targets. But the secret sauce is inside of the non-arbitrary price targets.
Yeah. This is where the big gains are made. And I can tell a story of mine. In the last bull markets, I was one of the first buyers of Solana. I was quite early to the coin. And I bought Solana at $1, guys, at $1. And after that, it pumped to $8, which I thought to myself, whoa, this is amazing. I just made an 8x.
Yeah.
And you know what happened after it, Robin?
I think I know where Solana is. Where Solana was at its all-time high. I think somewhere between $200.
Yeah, it was a bit, I think about over $200. So imagine, guys, if I would have used, no, I actually did use arbitrary price targets. My target was 5x, but I wasn't able to sell that early, so I sold it in 8x.
Yeah.
But if I had non-arbitrary price targets, like, for example, Coinbase hitting the #1 spot on App Store, I would have sold Solana for like $100 or $200. So in the long term, I guess this is more advanced. And as you said, it's good for beginners at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's also good for short-term trades. I use it myself.
Yeah.
But for long-term trades, I only use non-arbitrary price targets. And there are a lot of points which you can use for non-arbitrary price targets. So I agree with you that you miss out on a lot of money. Like I just made an 8x, but I could have made a 200x. So just look at the difference between the 8x and the 200x.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's humongous.
Crazy. There was like, when we go back to our Avalanche trade, and I think back in the days with our like kept knowledge around non-arbitrary price targets, we would have sold much earlier. But this trade basically showed me, or showed maybe you as well, for you as well, but we were locked in these positions, so we couldn't sell. And basically at the perfect top of the bull market, these positions got unlocked. And then we realized, holy shit, like if you know what when to sell, not based on an 8x or 10x or whatever, but based on like events in crypto, then this can make you a bunch of money. But of course, like I would say, non-arbitrary price targets, like arbitrary price targets, are great for like short-term positions. I would say you can also use non-arbitrary price targets over there. Like for example, you have opened a trade and your whole thesis, so the reason why you invest is based on a new product launch or whatever. So, and you use that event as a non-arbitrary exit. Then I would say non-arbitrary price targets also help, but arbitrary price targets for short-term positions are, I would say, more important.
Yeah. And do you want to talk a bit more about the Avalanche trade and how, because for me, it was the biggest realization. It was Solana and the Avalanche trade. Both of them like opened my eyes about when to exit a position. It just opened my eyes and it gave me all the answers. I was always asking like, how do I know when to sell my coins? And these two events showed me like what to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to go a bit more into the Avalanche trade and what happened exactly? When did we buy? When did we sell?
Yeah. So
Things like that.
as I said, like back in the days, we were quite lucky that our positions were locked. But one thing that
Explain for the viewers. They don't know when we bought. They don't know what a locked position is.
Yeah, okay.
Explain it for
absolutely
beginners, let's say.
Right. So we participated in a so-called ICO. Basically, the first time.
What's an ICO?
The first time someone is able to publicly invest in a specific coin. It's not on the market
In a
yet.
new project.
In a completely new project. And we found this project quite early and we saw the ICO. So we decided, all right, we invest into that. The price back in the days was 50 cents for AVAX. So both of us were like, okay, yeah, this is great. But we knew, okay, when we did the investment, there was like a lockup period, which basically means that your coins are not available to you. So you have to wait a certain period till you are able to sell this specific position. And the lockup period back in the days, I think was
1 year.
1 year?
Yeah,
1 year.
12 months.
So we had like 1 year where we couldn't touch that specific investment, which was a blessing because
It was the best thing that ever happened to us.
yeah. So during that 1 year, AVAX went from 50 cents to $5 to $50 and then to $100 and I think $20 were at the moment when we sold. And the biggest learning, or when I look back at this trade, or this investment, nowadays I would look at factors like, for example, network growth, because back in the days, like Avalanche is a blockchain like Ethereum, so people can do transaction on Avalanche like they can do it on Ethereum, just a bit more efficient. So what happened then is that like nowadays I would look at this and would see that the growth of the network is still expanding. So more people use AVAX for trading coins and so on, and the transaction volume on Avalanche is rising. So I would look at this factor for this specific position as a non-arbitrary price target and would say, okay, if I see like no growth anymore, this would basically mean for me, all right, so this means a lack of interest or a declining interest in the overall network. So this could have been a non-arbitrary price target, especially for AVAX. But you can also do this like in general, like I don't know what a big event was at this time, but basically the euphoria level around crypto was at an extreme point back in the days. So you can also look at, for example, the fear and greed index. Like it's pretty simple to analyze if you know what you have to look at.
We have way better indicators than that. I mean, what you said is extremely accurate, extremely true. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. Like we've got some indicators. I told you one of it already, which is Coinbase hitting #1 in the US App Store, which is kind of universal. Like as soon as that hit in the last cycles, you had maximally like 1 week to get out of the markets or maybe a month after. But also what most of the people don't know is that when Bitcoin tops, you maybe have 1 or 2 months of alt season before everything goes down afterwards. And we've got other top signals like huge deals with rappers, huge deals with cryptocurrencies in the real world. Like last time, the crypto.com arena was, the crypto.com sponsorship was established, which was a over 9-figure deal in the real world. Like these are super good top signals. And I will tell you one of our best top signals, which is the MVRV-Z indicator. And it's one of the best. Like as soon as that hits like 6, 7, you know that Bitcoin has already topped, and maybe after that you've got 1 month. And then we've got like 2 or 3 other indicators, and we've got 2 new indicators for this cycle that, in my opinion, no one really knows about. We talk about this in depth a lot in our program. We have a lot of material to that, but in general, like what we gave you right now is already a super good. You know, like if you just have the MVRV.Z indicator, Coinbase, the rappers, you know, flexing their money, and also like huge deals like stadiums being built for like $700 million. These are like super good indicators that you've only got a few months left. So I would say with Avalanche, what we did is we held the coin for 1 year, and because we were forced to hold it, as Robin said, we bought at 50 cents in the ICO, which means we bought it the first time the public could ever have access to this coin. And I would have sold at $5 or $10.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I would have sold at $5 to $10, which is very good. You know, it's still a 20x or a 10x, but it forced me to sell at a 200x. I think I exited at around $100.
Yeah.
So what it taught me was, okay, in a bull market, things tend to go up insanely high.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't use arbitrary price targets in a bull market because you will lose so much money. Like with Solana, I missed out on 100+x because I didn't use non-arbitrary price targets. So I would say the basis is, let's come back to this, is market cycles. You should buy in a bear market and you should sell at the peak of the bull market. And let's be honest, no one can sell at the perfect top. This doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. No one, I guarantee you this, can sell the exact top, which means if you are round about at 10 to 20% from the market cycle top, like you will outperform 99% of people, because there's also a huge difference between making money and keeping money. A lot of people make money in the bull market, but not a lot of people actually keep the money. And this is key. So guys, you need to understand that for bear markets, we use non-arbitrary price targets for, should we just give them the alpha for when to buy in the bear market? Should I spill it?
You can spill it.
All right. So in a bear market, okay, you need to wait maybe 1 year after the top. You will know when the top is because afterwards the charts will keep prints lower lows and lower highs. And approximately 12 to 18 months after the highest high we ever had, we have the bottom. Okay, so first of all, I use a time interval. So I know that approximately 12 to 18 months after the pico top, the maximum top, it's time to get back into the crypto markets. And also you have like huge liquidations. You have exchanges going bankrupt. You have peak fear, everyone calling for insanely low price targets. Everyone is super fearful. You have big liquidations cascades, big players, institutions, maybe even states in the next bear market that are going bankrupt. And this is where you should buy. And then you have also signals where you should sell. And once you understand these two major events, this is all you need to know, guys. You will outperform 90 to 95, even 99% of traders if you know these basic things: when to enter, where is the market bottom approximately, and where is the market top approximately. This is like the base foundation that you need to understand.
Yeah, I think you don't need more. Like, let's be honest, like, no, the most of us don't have, like, we are special because we do this full time. But most people have like a life and a family to take care of.
So we don't have a life.
We have a life, but our life is like built around crypto.
Okay.
So
Crypto life.
yeah, we live the crypto life. So if you have this situation, like you also have to look at your life, like how much time are you able to invest in crypto? And the truth is, most of you trade out of their like comfort zone, not comfort zone, but basically their zone where they can peak perform, where they can play on peak performance. Let's say you have like you only trade based on arbitrary price targets and you do like a lot of short-term trades. But if you have like a full-time job and a family next to that, like you will not be able to successfully use this method. And this is very important, like understand who you are and like how your life is structured and build your portfolio around this, build your exit strategy, your complete investment strategy around this. Otherwise, you will miss out on so many gains and you will probably lose a lot of money. So make sure that you know how your life is structured, create an investment strategy, investment plan around this.
Yeah.
Then invest based on market cycles for peak performance. And then also like, if you know all of this, but your emotions, if you can't control your emotions, this will lead to losses because you know all of this, but your emotions are not in place. So investing properly means also to know yourself, know everything about you, know how you act. And in certain situations, how greedy are you? How fearful are you? And if you know that, and if you're able to build a strategy around this, which is actually what we do in our program, if you know this, you can build a strategy that you can follow. So understand this. You have to have a strategy that you can follow based on your life and based on your emotional way of doing things. So I think with both of these, if you equip yourself with enough knowledge around that, you will be very profitable in crypto. And as Jacques said, a lot of people give back the profits they make in crypto to the market because they get emotional, because they don't have a proper strategy, because they maybe have the wrong strategy for their life. So I saw a crazy statistic, 80% of the profits a regular crypto investor makes will go back to the market because they will not sell at the right time.
Yep.
So 80% means if you make $100,000 in crypto, you will lose $80,000 of that again, and then you maybe make $20,000 profits in the end if you are part of I would say top 5%.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I would say, guys, the secret is first, understand market cycles, study market cycles. I mean, we talk about it a lot with our friends, our students, with everyone. We know exactly where we are in the cycle. It's one of the most basic and most important things to know, because many people come into the program or they're beginners and they don't even know where they are. It's just entering a room and you don't even know where you are. Yeah. You need to know, where am I at this point in time?
Yeah.
And this is just the basic stuff you need to master. And after, you understand the market cycles, when you should approximately buy, when you should approximately sell, you should make a plan. And in general, the people that make a plan, and the guys we did, for example, we made a plan when to sell approximately in the bear market or before the bull market really hits. Because if you make a set of rules and say, I will sell when X, Y, Z happens, and you follow through, you're more likely to sell your coins than when you don't have a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, everyone's going to be bullish on Twitter. Everyone's going to be bullish on YouTube. Everyone's going to be bullish on Instagram. Everyone's going to tell you, bro, you're crazy to sell your coins right now.
Yeah.
This thing is going to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
And this is one of the hardest things to do, because if you reverse it at the bottom, it's exactly the same. Everyone's like, bro, are you crazy to buy here? Things will go much lower. So if you do a plan, if you make a plan, and if you have the set amount of rules, we just told you part of our plan.
Yeah.
One of my indicators is, when is Coinbase hitting the number one spot in the App Store? When is the MVRV score on Bitcoin at 7?
Yeah.
I know that once we hit 7, I have 1 or 2 more months left to sell my coins. So if you know all the indicators, we have a bunch of them, and we actually have a signals group and a bot for it. Like, if you know exactly where you are in the market cycle, and if you have a plan and a set amount of rules, like, you will outperform 90 to 95%. And this is like the basic things to understand, to zoom out a little bit. Because when you tend to get into the crypto markets, you're a bit like super narrow. You're thinking like quite narrow. You don't have like this eagle view on the whole market. You're like super, okay, crypto is doing this and that. But you have to look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
And this is what we teach at the beginning. Like, it's super important. Yeah. Marketcycles, having a plan. And because most of the people that make money, they hold their coins because they think, okay, this is going to go even higher. They have like blind faith in their cryptocurrency they're investing. And they have no idea when to sell, because they also don't know that crypto, 95% is a scam of it. Yeah. 95%, or 99% is bullshit and a scam.
Yeah.
And most people don't know which projects are a scam and which projects are not. So one of my best mindset shifts was to assume that every project is a scam, because at the beginning, when I came into the crypto market, I felt like, oh, everyone wants to change the world. All these crypto projects that are coming out, they all want the best for me. They want the holders to make money, but this is complete bullshit. Most of the crypto projects out there, they get money because of other reasons, not because they want to change the world. It's a bit darker. I don't want to get into that. But as soon as you understand that as well, exiting a position is much, much easier. If you understand, okay, these crypto projects and most of the altcoins, they're not going to last long. There's also a very nice statistic. If you compare the 2017 bull market with the 2021 bull market, the top 100 coins, just maybe we will link this guy, maybe we'll link this statistic in this video. We can do that. Guys, make a screenshot, or I have a screenshot and I know exactly which coins were in the top 100 in 2017, and compare them to the top 100 coins in 2021. What happened there?
You will maybe find like 2 or 3 coins that are still in this list.
Maybe a bit more. Maybe they're like, come on, say 5 to 7% that are still in the top.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? If you compare the top 100 coins in 2017 to 2021, you have a completely new set of coins, which means that all the other altcoins that you invest in and where you think they're going to change the world, you're going to hodl them for 3, 4, 5 years, they're all going to zero.
Yeah.
So as soon as you understand how the game is played and how ruthless it is, the easier it is, that was nice, to exit a position, and the easier it is to make money, because you will detach yourself from all projects. You will look at them super objectively, super logically and rationally, because as you said before, like, emotions can destroy your portfolio, can destroy your family, can destroy your life savings. And I think once you understand market cycles, you made a plan, and then you understand crypto for what it is, this is where you will make the most amount of profit, and you will know exactly when to exit a position, and it won't hurt you when you exit a position.
100%. So I think we can end it here. Like, you guys know what to do. If you want our guidance for building the plan, for understanding market cycles, for understanding, okay, all the other important things around crypto that you need to know to stay profitable, actually become profitable, then reach out to us. I will link the website in the description. And yeah, with that being said, see you in the next podcast. And thank you, Jack, for the conversation.
It was a pleasure, guys.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.